Please get ready for the passage. Mr. Deputy Chairman, Sir, the Civil Nuclear Liability Bill in its amended form has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. It is only in this amended form that my party supports the bill. It is obviously true that 2 years ago, when this government went ahead with the civil nuclear deal with the United States, we had serious reservations and we continue to have serious reservations. But despite those reservations, as the Honorable Minister said, that it is an option which we are exploring, we think that option need not be excluded. It is an option to further expand the nuclear program as far as power sector is concerned. However, there are still serious doubts people have about the cost effectiveness as far as nuclear power is concerned, and that issue will continue to remain. But notwithstanding our objections, the government of the day decides to go ahead and explore the option of expanding it. We therefore, sir, for more than one reason, have agreed today in this House to the amended proposals of the Minister, particularly because a large number of concerns that we did show and expressed to the Honorable Minister have been substantially accommodated by the government. Secondly, sir, it is the government of the day which decides the policy, and so it is very much within its right to explore the option of expanding the nuclear program. Thirdly, sir, irrespective of our reservations, we already have the nuclear program so far as nuclear power is concerned. This bill, in that sense, does not even deal with the civil nuclear deal. This bill essentially deals with the principal question as to whether it is existing or it is expanded, and in the event of a nuclear incident, how are the victims of that accident going to be compensated in an expeditious manner. We have a sad and unfortunate experience of the Bhopal gas leak. The Honorable Prime Minister is here. This law deals only with nuclear incidents. If there are incidents and accidents which are not on account of a nuclear incident but because of which a large number of casualty and damage does take place, our legal regime, even today, is only the conventional legal regime that the victims go to a civil court and then have their remedies adjudicated. We are all conscious of the limitations of our legal system, that it almost takes decades, not years, in order to compensate the victims as far as those areas are concerned. So, I would urge the government that while dealing with this expeditious legal remedy machinery for victims of a nuclear incident, it should also consider a similar law which would deal with other incidents of this kind which are not caused on account of a nuclear leakage. Sir, the minister is right in saying that this law does not deal with the criminal remedies. But in that case, we found that the criminal remedies, which are going to be the same whether it is a nuclear leak, or it is a gas leak, or a chemical leak, also need to be strengthened. Sir, when you store or utilize the hazardous material in such a manner that there is a leakage, is itself a proof that you did not handle it properly, and therefore you must be taken to task for this. Now, those remedies cannot be mild remedies which are presently there as far as Indian law is concerned. So, even the criminal law aspect will have to be separately dealt with, not as a part of this particular bill, which deals only with the civil compensation as far as victims are concerned. Sir, I must take this opportunity to place on record a deep sense of appreciation that I do have for the Honorable Minister, particularly for the flexibility and humility that he displayed in trying to accommodate various concerns both of the opposition parties and other interested groups while this bill was being drafted. But there are many experiences that we have to learn from the drafting of this particular bill. We must realize, sir, that some of these experiences lead us to the conclusion how not to legislate. Landmark legislations, which will go on for decades, maybe even a century or more, are not to be rushed through in a hurried manner. They are introduced in one session in a hurried manner. I think adequate amount of public debate has to take place on laws of this kind. Even public hearings have to take place. Sir, I really do not understand as to why are we rushing through a bill which was introduced in the later part of the budget session. The government must come clean and say why it must be cleared in the monsoon session itself, and it cannot wait. So, sir, I sincerely feel that this is not the appropriate time to legislate this law. The government must do some homework before putting in place such a machinery which would deal with all these aspects in a comprehensive manner and not in a piecemeal manner.